Do you ever get times when life just feels overwhelming? Like there's just so much going on, so many difficulties and challenges that you just can't cope. Yeah, we've all been there. We've all had times like that. But what if I told you that there was a way of reframing this to turn these struggles into breakthroughs and opportunities? You see, one of the things I've learned over these last few years is that just because you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're failing. Let me repeat that. Just because you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're failing. So in this video, I'm going to help you realize that there are opportunities in struggle. I'm going to help you reframe hard times, and I'm going to give you straightforward, actionable steps to improve your mindset, overcome many challenges, and also realize strengths you probably didn't know you had. Now, before we get to that, I just want to address something first. Struggles are not unique. We all get them. We all get hard times, highs and lows, ups and downs, good times, bad times. The universe is not out to get you. In fact, the universe really doesn't care. It just does its thing. So it's important to realize that, this is just a phase of life. It's just what happens. The key thing is what you do about it, how you respond, how you learn, and the actions that you take as a result of the hard times or because of the struggles. And many struggles can help us to learn to be more resilient, be more patient, and also to be better versions of ourselves. So I'd like you to indulge me for a minute, because if you've been following me for a while, you'll know that I've had some real hard times. I'm here in Fiji. Don't want to be here in Fiji. I'm here as a result of a bunch of bad decisions I made and circumstances that were beyond my control. And the cumulative effect was that last year I had to leave New Zealand, leave my kids who were living with their mother, and come here to Fiji. And I have to admit, it's been pretty bloody tough. It's been a struggle. There have been times when I felt like it was all too much, wondered whether I could cope. But the result of being here is that I've learned a lot of patience. I've learned a lot about myself, who I am, what I want, and I've also learned how to cope with this aspect of my life, which at times is quite a struggle. But one of the key things is that I spent a while when I arrived here feeling like I was an absolute disaster zone, feeling like a complete and total failure. And it took me a little while to realize that, just because I'm struggling doesn't mean I'm failing. Just because I've failed at a few things doesn't mean I'm a failure. And I'm going to put a video at the end that kind of addresses that. It's been a really important lesson for me to learn. So how can we turn these hard times into things that are far more positive? One of the first things you can do is just to begin to realize that, as I said right at the beginning, just because you're struggling, it doesn't mean you're failing. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing. Like I said, hard times happen to us all. No one is immune. The next thing is to say, instead of I'm failing or I'm a failure, to I'm learning or I'm a strong learner or I'm learning fast. Stop saying I'm failing, start saying I'm learning. Now what you're beginning to do here is to chip away at your belief system about yourself. You're beginning to reframe those nagging thoughts in the back of your mind about who you are and what you do and what you believe about yourself. And the more often you do this, the faster progress you will make. Your subconscious will act on whatever you tell it to do. Most people just don't tell it much, so it just goes away and does all kinds of random stuff. Or it just acts like an operating system which keeps going and going and going in the same way that it has done loads of times, years before. So begin to tell yourself, you're not a failure, you've not failed, you're learning, you're learning. Another big deal is to celebrate small victories, all victories. I've said this before and I'll never stop saying it, Every step forward, no matter how small, is a win. Celebrate those wins. My YouTube channel is growing, and so remember to hit the subscribe button if you like the video. And every time I get a new subscriber, I do a little dance in my flat. And yeah, at some point I might show you the video. But celebrate the wins. Celebrate when the things are going well. Because things are at times, they will go well. Celebrate those. Be happy with those. It's a good idea. And what it's doing is, again, it's programming your subconscious to look for those good feelings, those little celebrations. And your subconscious will go to work in the back of your mind to bring more of this good feeling about. It's what it does. And the last one I want to share, and it's the most important really, is if you are struggling and you're not coping, first of all, admit that you're not coping. There's no shame in admitting that you're not coping, especially for us blokes. We don't like to admit that we're not doing so well. It's awful. We bottle it all up, keep it to ourselves, and it becomes ultimately self-destructive. Talk to somebody. Go and get help. I would rather talk to somebody who's having a hard time than hear that they'd attempted something drastic. So talk to somebody. Get help. You'll be surprised how receptive people are if you pick up the phone and say, look, I'm struggling. Have you got a minute just to chat? Do it. Just do it. And particularly if your thoughts are really getting dark and really getting negative. Remember this, the world is a better place with you in it, despite how you might feel. So talk to somebody, get help, and get professional help if that's what you feel you need. Here's a quick caveat on this though. Talk to somebody you trust. I had a friend who shared some very, very difficult times with somebody she thought was a friend. And within days, it might as well have been on the radio, because this friend had told somebody else in confidence, who told a few other friends in confidence. Before you knew it, it was knowledge around the neighborhood. Not good. Find someone you can trust, someone who is mature enough, just to listen, just to help and guide. And like I said, if you want professional help, get it. But please, please talk to somebody. Don't suffer in silence. There's no shame in admitting that you're not doing so well. No shame whatsoever. And I'm talking to you, blokes, men, we're really, really rubbish at this. So get help, talk to somebody. So there we have it. Remember, just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing. Just because you're struggling doesn't mean you're failing. Life is full of ups and downs, highs and lows, good times and bad times. It's not going to change. And the sooner you get to grips with this, the better off you're going to be. Now here's the cool thing. If you keep going, get help if needed, you'll realize that you are much, much stronger than you think. And if you made it this far, I thank you for watching. This to me is an important thing. So please subscribe to the channel. Hit like, share it with somebody you know who may be having a hard time. And finally, I want to thank the comedian Jason Manford for coming up with the title for this video. And I'll put a link in the description to his channel. It's a very, very funny guy who is very, very conscientious about mental health, particularly men's mental health. So thank you, Jason, for this video.